Good evening, Namaskara. A very warm welcome to the session of the Spiral of Wisdom, our Thursday Satsangs at the School of Ancient Wisdom. It was started by the founder, Mamanise, and many years ago. So before we start off, may I request Swati to say the school prayer.
Good evening, everyone. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom, O hidden light, shining in every creature, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. So before we start, let's call upon our inner guru to guide us to experience the best the satsang has to offer, to connect us all with each other, connect us all to our higher selves. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So here we transit from our outer world to our inner world as we bring ourselves to this satsang together to seek personal growth. Today we have with us a very nice speaker. A topic is also very nice. It actually feels like if School of Ancient Wisdom was a school, then this would be one subject. Topic for today, satsang is Ancient Insights for a Modern World. And our speaker today is R.K Lakshmipathy Avare. So, to just introduce our speaker for today, Lakshmipathy Avare holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering from Bangalore University, securing the 9th rank, and a Master of Business Administration in Marketing Management, where he secured the 5th rank. He's also a certified ISO lead auditor. His areas of expertise include R&D in defense, electronic equipment, project management, multimedia development, teaching at undergraduate and postgraduate levels, and administration in public sector and higher education institutions. He has extensive experience in quality management, having been involved in ISO and NAEC NAC certification, accreditation processes for higher education institutions. With over 32 years of industrial and research experience at Bell, Lakshmipathy Avare contributes to the development of advanced electronic systems like radars and sonars. So we have a real brainy, speaker today with us, very accomplished in many areas. And played a pivotal role in the full development of the PCMC for ISRO, collaborating with ISRO, as well as the development and production of several radars and sonars, along with interactive multimedia training manuals for corporate use. In the academic field, he served as the head of Department of Management at the Garden City College in Bangalore, and held leadership roles as Vice Principal and Director of Public Relations. He also has worked as an ISO and NAC coordinator of SRN Adarsh College in Bangalore. His international exposure includes professional visits to Switzerland, Italy, the US, UK, Canada, Russia, Moldova, and other countries for training, technical discussions, and seminars. So we really have a very accomplished speaker with us today, and I'm sure he brings with him many insights into ancient wisdom, because it's not very common that a person who is indulged in right brain thinking and left brain thinking balances the two in this particular manner. So we're really eager to hear what Lakshmipathy Avare has for us today. So over to you, Ji. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. A very good evening to all the participants of this program. Today's topic is ancient insights for the modern world. A very interesting topic indeed, because while we live in the modern world with all its complications, we need to have some ancient insights also. There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 101, which says, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Ashwattam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yaha Tam Veda Sa Vedavit. What it means is there is an eternal tree whose roots are upwards and whose branches are downwards. The leaves of this tree are Veda mantras. The one who knows this knows the Vedas. This is a profound statement. Has anyone seen such a tree? Perhaps not. No one has seen to have seen and reported such a thing, except that you may see a reflection of a tree in a water mass, giving an impression of branches being down and roots being up. But still, we have to ponder over what is meant by this shloka. What the learned people say is that our own roots are upside. That is, in other words, our spiritual roots are upside. And what we reap as the fruits of our actions are like the fruits we pick up from this ancient tree which is described in the shloka. So what it means is it is nothing but a Vedic tree. The tree described here, the tree of the Vedic tree whose leaves are the Veda mantras. By performing the actions stipulated in the Vedas, we receive many fruits of such actions. Can we have slide 1, please? Yeah. This topic of the day. And next slide. Now, the Vedas are the oldest documents of the world. Vedas are about 4,000 years old. That is plenty of years, and dated as 1750 BCE, before the birth of Christ. This is the most agreed date.
May I request others to mute their mic, please? Thank you.
And some people say it goes even earlier. Professor Max Muller, who was a professor at Oxford University, thought the Vedas was published in 1854 AD for the very first time. He did so after spending nearly 50 years of field research and study in India, collecting all the manuscripts, etc. And he has this to say in the introduction of his Sacred Books of the East, that is SB 32, which relates to Rigveda. I quote, "The Veda, I feel convinced, will occupy scholars for centuries to come and will take and maintain forever as the most ancient of the books in the library of mankind." Unquote. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. Now, UNESCO has included Vedas in the Memory of the World Register in 2007. UNESCO is a United States organization, and it has included the Vedas as the first, and it says it is the first literary document in the history of the world. It also says in the citation, it is the earliest known scripture of the Hindus. and also stands out as the first literary document in the history of humankind. We may say this is a recognition that Vedas are required for the whole mankind, and it is a recognition for the Vedas itself as the most original document. Now we have Robert Oppenheimer, whatever. There was a movie about him last year, who is credited to be the father of the atom bomb. He said, I quote, access to Vedas is the greatest privilege this century may claim for all previous centuries. Unquote. So he was so fond of this, and he says this is the best gift of the century as compared to all the previous centuries. Next slide. Yeah, we may say Vedas are the foundation of the Indian culture. It is like the river Ganga, which is flowing forever for 4,000 years, certainly. And the culture also has got built up like that. Now, Upanishads are called Vedanta, that is, end of the Vedas. Upanishads are well appreciated by the Western philosophers and many scientists. For example, Robert Oppenheimer says the Bhagavad Gita, he is talking about Gita here, the most beautiful philosophical song existing in any known tongue. So he has said this in this wisdom from India's beloved scriptures, teachers, masters, monks. He says it is the only religion in which time scales correspond to those of modern scientific cosmology, that is, the worlds created, destroyed, etc. They relate to such a time scale. Then Edwin Schrödinger, he says he's an Austrian physicist who won the Nobel Prize in 1933. So, quote, wise men or priests in the Vedic tradition express in that sacred mystic formula, which is it really so simple and so clear, Tattvamasi, this is you. It means, Tattvamasi means this is you. Or again in such words as, I am the east and the west. I am above and below. I am this entire world. This is stated in my view of the world. In German language, of course, it is in 1961. Schrödinger also said most of his ideas and theories were heavily influenced by Upanishads. Scientists Nikola Tesla, and astronomer Carl Sagan were also admirers of Upanishads. Next slide. Now, German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer has said, in the whole world there is no study so beautiful, so elevating as the study of Upanishads. He was so impressed as a philosopher. And he also said, it has been the solace of my life and it will be the solace of my death. This is what he said. Next slide. Now, there are many names by which Vedas are known. Some of these are Shastras, Shruti, Brahma, Mantras, Nigama, Yajna, Shabda Pramana. These are some of the names that are frequently used. Now, why do we say it is as Shastras? Shastras indicate that, it is the way we need to live. That is what is stipulated in these Shastras. Now, why is it called Shruti? Because Vedas were transmitted by oral tradition. They were never put down to writing till 200 BCE. So, it was Shruti. All the time it was Shruti. Heard by the various Rishis and others, those who learned the Veda, they go and who transmit it to others. It's also called Brahma. Why is it called Brahma? Brahma means breath, very large. So, since the Veda's corpus itself is large, as you can see later, the Rigveda totally consists of 10,552 mantras, very large. And all that has to be, known by heart. And to repeat the whole thing in a systematic manner in which it has to be recited takes something like 64 hours, it is said. So, it's very large, so it was called as Brahma. When we were children, some people used to say, so what is there now for you to, what is difficult to learn here? Is it Brahma Vidya? Like that they used to say. So, generally the impression was Brahma Vidya was difficult to learn. We can also see further why it is difficult. Then it's also called as mantras, as I said. Each Samhita has got further subdivided into riks. So, all the riks or the rik mantras are held in a specific chandas. It's all very rhythmic and nice to hear. That way, all specific rules are there how to recite. So it is a set of mantras. Then Nigama. Nigama is used in the sense it is used as an alternative name to Veda. Nigama also means some kind of a organization in the modern Sanskrit. Then you have Yajna, which is one of the main purposes of Veda was to conduct the Yajna. So it's sometimes known by this word also. Then it is called Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana means a oral evidence of something. What is said in the Veda was treated as a Shabda Pramana. We'll just now see how this Shabda Pramana comes. Next slide. Now, in the ancient philosophical system in India, like Tarka, Vedanta, etc., there were 6 methods by which knowledge can be gained. The first one was pratyaksha, direct evidence by seeing, hearing, etc., by sensory perception. That was the first method of gaining knowledge. The next one was anumana or inference. It cannot be direct evidence, but by inferencing, you can find out that it is so. Third one is pramana. Here comes Shabda Pramana. Pramana is what is stated by an authority, by a guru, or a very learned person whom you can take for granted that he is saying the correct thing. So, Vedas were considered as Shabda Pramana and are also considered even now, by and large. Then Upamana. Upamana is by analogy. Another method of getting knowledge was Upamana, analogy, by comparison. Then Arthapatti, that is postulation. By postulating something, you can derive some knowledge. Anupalabdhi, none of the above, but you can have a cognitive proof by certain proof system. You can have some knowledge. That is the 6th method, like this. These are the 6 methods of knowing something, and Shabda Pramana is definitely there. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. What is the position of Vedas in in the other scriptures like Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita, which is a very popular document for us because so many people have popularized even in schools and other institutions, memorizing Bhagavad Gita. Today is a day when we remember Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi tried to remember every day some two shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. He had put some slate in his bathroom where he would write the shlokas and try to learn. So like that, it is certainly sometimes called the fifth Gita, fifth Veda and all that. So what does it say about the Vedas? The very first thing that I have taken only about 6, 7 shlokas here. There are more, up to some 12 references. But what is the most more important ones I have taken here? Now, chapter 3, verse 15, it says, Karma brahmadvam vidhi, brahma aksharam samadho, tasmat sarvagatam brahma, nitya yagne pratishthitam. It says karmas are karmas or otherwise stipulated activities are given by the Brahmas, that is Vedas. But the Vedas themselves are an expression of ultimate divinity. This is what it says. That's a very lofty position, high pedestal kind of thing. Yes, that is there. Next slide. Yeah, this is chapter 8, verse 11. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Tad Yatayo Vitaraga. So, what it means is the learned persons of the Vedas repeat Omkara, and the Yatis, those have renounced and they have given up the sensory attractions. Both of them enter into Brahman, some kind of ultimate reality there. So you see, those who learn Vedas also have the same position, end result, as the Yatis who are practicing tapas, etc. Next one, Vedeshu Yakteshu Tapassu Chalva. Daneshu Yat Punyaphalam Pradishta. This is chapter 8, verse 28. What it means is, we get some fruits of action by the study of Vedas, by Yajna, by Tapas. Now, all the three, that is, Vedeshu, Yajneshu, Tapas, Chaiva. So, all these are giving the same result. So, you see, need not go to a forest, some kind of event in a lighter way, we can say. Next. Chapter 9, verse 17. Vedyam pavitra munkara sama ijarevacha. Vedyam pavitram munkara sama ijarevacha. What it means is, I am the holy Omkara, I am the Rig, I am the Sama, I am the Yajurveda. So, this is a statement by Bhagavan Krishna, and what it means is he is equating himself with these Vedas. That means, with a God head, kind of. That is again a very lofty position for the Vedas. Next slide. Chapter 15, verse 15. Veda Sarvair Veda. So, creator of Vedanta, Veda, etc. I say, I have done this. So next slide. Chapter 15, verse 18. Atospi loke vedeja pratishtaha purushottam. He said, Atospi loke vedeja pratishtaha purushottam. I am known as a Purushottama, both in the world and in the Vedas. What the Vedas describe as Purushottama is myself. That's what he is saying. Of course, yeah, this is a very really high position for the Vedas, according to Bhagavad Gita. Indeed, it is so. Can we go to next slide, please? Now, Vedas, what are they? Some kind of a description about these things. We have 4 Vedas. Rigveda, which are mostly Veda mantras. Yajurveda, mostly description about how to conduct the sacrifices. Samaveda, it's some of the Rigveda mantras, mostly 75%. They have taken the Rig mantras and they have sung in a Samaveda fashion, Sama fashion. So, these 3 known as the Trahi Vedas. When they say, when somebody says Trahi or Trahi Vedas, it is meant the set of Rig, Yajur, Sama Vedas. Atharvaveda is the 4th one. Yes. Now, next one. Each Veda has 4 parts, almost similarly for all the things. Samhita. Samhita is a collection of mantras. Brahmana is prose. Here, Brahmana doesn't denote an individual. The Brahmana is something related to Brahma, that is Veda. Brahma being Veda, Brahmana is something related to that. It's prose. These 2 are known as Karma Kanda. Karma means stipulated activity, mostly yajna and other things. So, this is known as the Karma Kanda, doing sacrifices. So, in the sacrifice, so many mantras are called out and they have to be recited like that. Then we have Aranyaka, which is prose. It is supposed to be when people went to forest or in the last stage, in the 4 stages of human life. So they may ponder over this like that. Then we had Upanishads. It's a set of mantras and prose. They have become very popular, as I said. These 2 are Narkan. Now, wondering how the world was created, what is this, what is that, and things like that. Next slide. As I said, the mantras of Rigveda are used on many occasions in addition to yajnas. Daily worship of Agni, that is Agnihotra, called as Agnihotra. That's being, the famous Gayatri mantra is chanted, the Agnihotra and many others. And other sacred occasions like housewarming, marriage, there are 18 stipulated, occasions, 18 samskaras. So in each samskara, some or the other mantras will be used. There are many yajnas prescribed for the various needs of the individual, the society, and the rulers like the kings of the erstwhile time. So everything had a prescribed yajna, so that some fruits will come out of that and people enjoy. Maybe you will pray for a child, pray for property, pray for being victorious in a war, etc., etc. We see in Ramayana, just before, just during the war, the son of Ravana was busy doing a yajna, like that. Of course, it was slightly disturbed. Anyway, Rigvansars are also used for the normal usage. They are used to invoke the deities in the beginning of the yajna. Go through. Then to praise the deities while performing the yajna, their various characteristics, etc., are described. Saying you are great, you did this, you did that, and things like that. Generally, yajnas are performed by Ritvijas, the persons who conduct the yajnas. These Ritvijas are generally of 4 types. One is go through. Go through invite the deities by chanting the prescribed Rit mantras. Next slide. Then, next slide. Advaryu, he performs homa as required by the Yajurveda. Yajurveda gives all these stipulations, how the, yajna kunda should be there, or the place of performance of yajna should be there. What, when you have to say what mantra, it's a particular, somebody calls out and the Hotru will recite that. He will call out, Advaryu will call out. Then Udgatra, he sings the required mantras of Samoveda. In Brahma, here again, there is this name Brahma is there. Brahma is a person who is officiating the yajna. He is something like a supervisor. He ensures correctness of all the activities of the yajna and should know the Trayi Vedas. That is, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samhita, he should know. Nothing goes amiss. This is what is his duty. Large yajnas may have up to 14 Ratvijas. That is, each of the persons, they have 3 more assistants for very large. They may have 1 assistant each, or they may have 2, 3. So this 16, set of 16 is the standard for the bigger yajnas. Next slide, please. Yeah. Rigveda contains, totally 10 mandalas in the mandala system. The mandala system is the original thing. Each mandala will have the mantras given out by a rishi. The rishis are called drashtu. That is, they have seen, or they have visualized this mantra. That is why Vedas sometimes they say are apurshaya. They have not been really generated by these rishis, but they are drashtras. That is, they are witnesses, or they have seen the vision of this mantra, something like that. So Mandala 1 is not by a single rishi, but by many rishis. In fact, they call Shatarchina, means hundreds. Mandala 2 contains 429 mantras. Here it was 2006. It is by Gritsamada, Rishi Gritsamada. Mandala 3 contains 617 mantras. It is by Rishi Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra has given his famous Gayatri mantra here in this mandala. Mandala 4 contains 589 mantras. It is by both Vamadeva and Gautama together. And Mandala 5 contains 727 mantras. Rishi Atri has given this. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Mandala 6 contains 765 mantra. Rishi Bharadwaja has given this. Mandala 7 contains 841 mantras. This is by Rishi Vasista. Mandala 8 contains 1716 mantras by Rishi Kanwa. Mandala 9 contains 1108 mantras. It is by many rishis. Mandala 10 contains 1754 mantras. It is also by many rishis. Totally 10,552 mantras. It's a large number. Difficult to remember all at a spread. So we have this what is known as the Astaka system. All the 10,552 mantras are grouped into 8 Astakas. As the name indicates, Astaka, 8 groups of 8. Now, each Astaka is divided into 8 chapters. 8 into 8, 64. So 10,552 mantras divided into 64 groups. That gives you some kind of a 164 mantras per person to memorize. So that way, different groups were there to memorize different sets of astakas. Okay, that is about the memorizing system. Now we come to Vedanga. Vedangas are anga, limbs of the Veda. These are 6. Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, Indo, Jyotisha, Kalpa. These are the Vedangas. Now, what is Shiksha? Shiksha is the way the words are to be split for a rig, and the way it is to be pronounced. Why it is so important to pronounce correctly? Both correct diction and all that is because a famous example is given by such a person as Panini. There is a story saying Vrutrasara was eventually killed by Indra, but Vrutra's father conducted a yajna in which he wanted to have this to say that this Indra must Indra Shatru, that Vrutra should become strong so that he may kill Indra. That's what he wanted. So the word was Indra Shatru Vardhasva. It should be pronounced like that. Indra Shatru Vardhasva without any break between Indra and Shatru. But it was pronounced as Indra Shatru Vardhasva. So the meaning became Indra, who is an enemy, Indra Shatru. Indra, who is an enemy, to become stronger. That is the mean. The result become reverse. Instead of Rudra becoming stronger, Indra became strong. So, every visarga, that is pronunciation, every Indra, ha has come there, that kind of a thing should not be, no liberty can be taken. Everything should be as it is, as specific. That is the difficulty in this. So, one should know the Padapata, that is how the words are coming and how it is being pronounced. And the Bhasha Shuddhi also should be there, all accents should be correct, etc. Then we come to Vyakarna. The Vedic Vyakarna is slightly different, but more or less similar rules are there, like, Rudirada H, some rule like that. It is the same in, Gune Kadat, Rudirada, the other rules, and it will remain same. Like that. So, then we have Nirukta, which is a dictionary. This Vedic dictionary is slightly different from the modern dictionaries we have. In this sense, all the words meaning the same are lumped together and given. For example, the example I can give is you have a word called Bala, strength. There are 28 words indicating that. Then similarly, the word called go, cow, 9 equivalent words. Then the word called Anna, it has got again some 28 to 30 words. what happens is the same word can be lumped in 2 or 3 places. Context-wise, it might mean different. So, contextual understanding becomes very important in interpretation of the mantra. Then chandas, there are 7 chandas: Gayatri, Vishnu, Kanushtup, Purati, Panti, Trishtup, and Jagati. And the syllables vary from 24 for Gayatri to 48 to Jagati in steps of 4. And the chandas rules are also quite, difficult and specific. Jyotisha is astronomy, position of planets and stars. It was required because certain yajnas had to be performed only certain times, and so it was specified. But sometimes Jyotisha is mistaken for Phala Jyotisha, which is a predictive, that is astrology. And it is Vedic Jyotisha is not astrology, it is pure astronomy only. Then Kalpa, which is another, the last Anga, Vedanga, it deals with various rules an individual has to follow, like that. Now, some sayings from the Vedas, a number of sayings are there, like Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Now, the bracket thing shows where it occurs. Mandala 1, 164 Sukta, 46 Ruk. Same truth is spoken in different ways by learned persons. So we know, truth may be same, but it is said differently by the way they are looking at it. And of course, there are varieties of quarrels. What I say is correct, etc. The next thing is Ano Badra Pratavo Yantu Vishwata. Means let noble thoughts come to us from every side. No, this is in fact the the statement that logo Bharati Vidyavan on all the books and stationery, you may see this. So that is available in that what is stated in the bracket. Then Gayatri Mantra. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. Gayatri Mantra Tatsaviturvarenyam Vargo Devasya Devahi Dhiyo Prachodaya. We meditate on that desirable light, the divine Savitra, who influences our mind. Dhiyo Naha Prachodaya. See, it's always held that we are to be, provoked in a positive sense by by the divine, so that we may do good things or required things, like that. Every time when we meditate and utter this mantra, it means we must be provoked in the positive way, in a correct way, etc. Dhiyo na prachodaya. Next slide, please. As I said, Rigveda was printed for the very first time in 1854. That is, maybe some 1854 means little over 100 years. So till that time, it was never printed or written as here till 200 BC. It was not written. From there on, it was written on palm leaves, etc. Parchment paper was not made in India, made by China. We did not have it. And only some selected segment. That is why only some selected segments were learned by the set of scholars according to the Ashtaka system. And East India Company, which was the ruling the country, that not ruling, but it was had a major share in the administration. They provided help to Professor Max Muller. Next slide, please. Now, then what is the position of the availability of Vedas in Kannada? Vedas are first published in Kannada with the original text and meaning in Kannada by Asthana Vidwan H.P. Venkatrao and his team of scholars during 1948 to 50. These are printed in quarter-demi big books, that is 800 to 900 pages each. There were totally 39 volumes. Anyway, this was possible with the help of the king, Maharaja of Mysore, Jaicham Rajwadiyar. The translation was in prose format. Next slide. Next slide, please. It was based on Sanskrit commentary by Sainacharya, who was a contemporary of Vidyaranya also, which was done in the 13th century AD. Sainacharya was a scholar in the court of King Bukraya of Vijayanagara Empire. And Sayada's commentary is taken as very authentic, and perhaps that's the only, authentic and taken by both Eastern and Western scholars as the most authentic one. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now the thing is, these are available, but the material is very large. When I studied this some time back, the very first mandala was 8,100 pages and 12 volumes. So it's a very large reading material and difficult. So I was wondering whether, if we have the same lyrics in Kannada poetry format, not necessarily in Vedic chandas, in the normal chandas. So that will be nice. So then I translated, and then published. The book was published by Bharti Javan, Bangalore. Next slide. The purpose of this work is to reach the Vedas to all those who will be interested. It took about 5 years of effort to put the original mantras into Kannada poetry format and get them published after due review by the experts. Next slide. Yeah. The book was released on 26 October 2024, last year, a few months back. Contains all the 191 suttas and a total of 2006 mantras. It was well acclaimed at the release function by Swami Shiv Prakashananda Saraswati and Mahamahodaya Dr. S. Ramana for both the Vedic scholars. Now, can we have the video clip, please? Any questions? Any question? I'm open to any questions. Yeah. The books are available from this sales agency. Their mobile number is given. For those who are interested, they can get it from here. Yeah. This photo we have seen already. Now, this is Swami Shivaprakash Nanda Saraswati, Mahopadhyaya S. Rangnath, myself, the chairman of Bharatiya Javan Bangalore, Mr. P.G. Raghavan, director of Bharatiya Javan, Mr. N.S. Suresh, and one of the speakers, Bhagwan Das. Of course, we have my son, Dr. Deepak, and my daughter, Dr. Manjula. Yeah. And this is the front and back covers of my book. And, that's the end of my presentation.
Yes, sir. I have given the option to unmute.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Okay, got it.
No.
Thank you so much, Lakshmipathy. It was very
Yes.
interesting. And congratulations on launching the Kannada version. It is a really unique achievement. I'm sure it will reach out to many more people.
Yeah, it
Because
is the first
the
time
wisdom of
such a it's the first time such a book is available in poetry book in Kannada.
Wonderful, wonderful. In fact, with this kind of endeavors really broaden the scope of reaching out to various people, and I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of punya for that. It's really an amazing achievement.
It took 5 years
So,
for
if
me.
anybody, beg your
Yeah,
pardon,
please, sir, go ahead. I said
you are
it
saying
took,
something?
yeah, it took 5 years of effort to come out for this book. 5 years.
Amazing, amazing. I think your
Because-
commitment and your, enthusiasm for spreading this awareness is really commendable, Lakshmipathy.
Yeah.
So what I was saying was, thank you so much for your presentation. And now is the time for people to ask questions. We have the question and answer
They
session.
may ask if I know, I will answer. Yeah.
So please do feel free to ask any questions.
So you may ask.
So what I'm just curious to know, Lakshmipathy, right? You're a scientist, an ISRO scientist, and you have been dealing with the depths of modern the heights of modern education, I can say, which is an industrial revolution based modern education.
Yeah.
And you've reached the heights because they normally say rocket scientist is the most complex form of a. So how did you
Yeah, I will
become
tell you.
interested in the Vedas?
I have been interested in these matters ever since I was in college. I was then in 1972, I was initiated by the head of Ramakrishna Mission as a lay disciple. Then, I am into this journey for the last 50, 60 years. I've been going through this spiritual literature and some kind of a journey that is. So it is all the time, it is in the background. Of course, running in the background.
It's amazing, truly amazing. In fact, I'm surprised. I'm maybe not so surprised because I've come across a number of rocket scientists and ISRO and even HAL and many of these highly technical organizations where people have turned towards our ancient wisdom. So, does that underline and validate the relevance of our ancient wisdom in modern life? And
It's
how best can we percolate it? How best can we percolate it amongst the youth of today?
Yeah, what Mr. Raghavan, who is the president of R.K said was, it gives some kind of a wow factor in the for the youngsters. See, it is difficult, but we are trying to take it to them, making it somewhat simple. Still, there will be many complicated technical words, etc. But that some help will be required for them from the other books. But really, it is an access. Otherwise, we think Veda is not for us. It's a legacy which gets neglected otherwise. I felt rather obliged. I was interested in poetry from the school time, so I could, and I was writing both English and Kannada poetry, and not regularly, but in some irregular fashion. But then it was possible for me to get into poetry because of that. Otherwise, it may be difficult.
So I'm also curious to know, since you're such a senior person, you would have come across many people over the years, many youngsters joining the stream of science and technology. In your observation, compared to say the 60s and the 70s, do you find that more number of youngsters today are open to spiritual exploration and our ancient wisdom from the Vedas? Because as I have observed, more of these youngsters, a higher percentage compared to before, even though it might be minuscule in numbers as of now, a higher percentage are slowly turning towards personal growth and spiritual seeking. Do you find that in your observation?
I was seeing some interviews for people who turn to spirituality in the Kumbh Mela kind of interviews. Somebody asked, why did you go there? He simply said, no, I got a feeling. I got some kind of an inner urge. I think the inner urge is the most important thing. In the sense, if you get a sense of vanity, etc., some kind of a temporal nature of things, then you might think. So if we think that everything is rather permanent, everlasting, things like that, it may be difficult. I have also written one English book, Mystery of Consciousness, where I have given some of these Western and Eastern concepts, where I have explained some issues. The thing is, we may cling to this world, but somewhere we get a hunch and feeling. Yes, is it going to be there all the time? That is the.
And I believe that. Sorry.
Sir.
Come again, please. For some reason, your audio is fluctuating, Lakshmipathy. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's very low.
Oh, I do not know. Okay.
Maybe if you just speak a little closer to the mic, we can hear
Yeah,
all your.
yes. Please.
Right. So my last question was, it has been predicted, by economists, by astrologers, by geopolitical, futurologists, and so on, that India is now Bharat, as we should probably call it, is now poised to, spread the soft power of Bharat through Sanatana Dharma, the Vedas, and so on, is poised to spread around the world because it is all inclusive. It doesn't exclude anybody. And if I look at even examples of institutions like ISRO, for example, it is becoming very prominent worldwide. So, where do you see Bharat in the next 20 years, and where do you see Sanatan Dharma and the way it's growing at the moment in the next 20
Now,
years?
yeah, you're most agree. Key question. When I was teaching in the college, we all went out saying in 2005, I told the students another 20 years will be quite different. That time, the growth rate was 8%. Kind of, there was a think tank in USA which another 20 years India will become a developed country. Now, it did not happen. It did not happen because the growth rates went down. Now, what the economists say is maintaining the growth rate is difficult at a high level. So today, yesterday there was an article by previous RBI governor, Subbarao, who said in the Times of India, who said we were maintaining 7.5 for a long time previously, but it never occurred in 2 successive years. Only for about 7 occasions that he said. Now, this is also there what the economists call the pitfall of middle income. Middle income pitfall
countries.
is there.
Yes.
When you
Like
reach
Far
some
Eastern
kind
countries.
of $18,000 a year, that is supposed to be the pitfall.
Yes.
You won't get up so easily after that. For what something happens. I believe that is what people have observed. So one thing is that we must become economically, sort of advanced, what you can call developed country, for which we have to reach some $23,000 or $24,000 per year income for all.
Yes.
Now there's so many problems are there. It's possible, but I think difficult. So when we reach that status, maybe our voice will be heard more easily elsewhere. And if the Sanatana Dharma is welcomed by all, then so be it. No problem.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lakshmipathy Avre, for sharing your wisdom with us. And congratulations once again on this remarkable achievement of launching the Kannada prose. We wish you all the success, and may Sanatan Dharma and universal Dharma, basically, which is what it is, grow and spread to as many as possible, and that as many as possible can practice it in such a way that they really ultimately grow towards self-realization. So on that note of gratitude, we come to the last section of our satsang, which is the Loka Samasta. And if there are no more questions, if anybody has a question, please do ask now. If there are no more questions, we will come to the end of the satsang. Okay. There's nothing more that I can see in the chat window. So we now come to the last section, the Loka Samasta. What we do is we remember our loved ones, those in our communities who need support, be it health-wise, finance-wise, relationships. These 3 areas are normally the most common karmic lessons that we experience in life. So just remember their names, what they're going through, and what kind of solution you would like for them. Also, please send out your prayers to the world at large at a time where war is looming. Higher consciousness thoughts can be spread by people like us who are seekers. Please sit straight with the back, neck, and head aligned. Take a nice deep breath. And let go. Observe the silence within, which is the language of the soul that connects all of us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, everybody. And till same time, same place next week. Please take care and God bless.